Hello guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a return to subscribe as always, guys. Welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, I got some news about a story I covered a few months ago. And in fact, it was late last year, I think November, December. And it's concerning this fool right here. Ladies and gentlemen, this fool, some of you guys keeping up with me, you remember this picture I put up here. This is Charles Smith, aka Wolfie Party on Instagram. He's an influencer. This guy right here makes tens of thousands of dollars a month. Well, about over $10,000 a month. It's been, revealed in court, doing some of the most distasteful prank videos out. The reason why we're talking about him, like you guys remember, this is the guy that went in Walmart and that bug spray, that bed bug spray or whatever, he sprayed it on various food items in the produce section, as well as rotisserie chicken. And just, left it there. You know what I mean? Now, he went back when people started saying something in the live stream, I guess, and put it all in the cart and then left it in the cart, then ran out. But either way, it's unacceptable. Anyway, this guy right here just got sentenced for what he did. And he been locked up for about 4 or 5 months ever since they caught his dumb behind. And the prison sentence he got is shocking. I want you guys in the comments section. Now, this guy's, he been convicted of trying to poison people. And I want you to let me know in the comment section if you think his punishment fits the crime that he did and the reckless carelessness that he exhibited. Take a look.
A social media influencer accused of spraying bug killer on food at a Valley Walmart, then posting the video of him committing the crime online, was just sentenced to 1 year in prison. 28-year-old Charles Smith said in court that it was all supposed to be a prank, but the judge didn't see it that way. 12 News journalist Chase Golightly first brought us this story last year and is joining us now in studio with the newest developments. Chase?
Caribe, it's not just this video that made so many people upset with Smith. It was also the fact that he was making thousands of dollars a month from this kind of content. And for the very first time, we heard what Smith had to say about this whole situation.
I'd just like to formally apologize for my actions from last year and that I've become a better person.
Charles Smith, also known as Wolfie Party on social media, saying in court he is sorry for this video. Taken in December at this Mesa Walmart, where police say he stole a can of bug killer and recorded himself spraying it all over fruits, vegetables, and rotisserie chickens, causing nearly $1,000 worth of damage and putting lives at risk.
This crime was absolutely outrageous and exceedingly dangerous.
Which is why he was arrested, charged, and ultimately pleaded guilty to poisoning. But that wasn't the only charge Smith was facing in court. Smith is known for these kinds of videos on social media. Others include what appears to be him locking people inside a Goodwill, throwing food at people at the mall, and even throwing a dead bird at fast food workers. He was facing charges related to theft at a Mesa Bosa Donuts and for causing more than $10,000 of damage at a Valley laundromat. We believe we found that video on his Instagram. That appears to show him put raw meat and eggs into an unsuspecting customer's laundry machine with their clothes.
These videos are pranks.
These so-called pranks, posted online, also made Smith up to $10,000 a month, according to arrest documents.
You're going to go out into the community and you're going to harm others, film them, put it online, and then profit off of it. That warrants punishment.
Smith's attorney told the judge that his client has taken responsibility for his actions and understands these aren't pranks.
What he did was not funny, and that's not how he should behave. He wants to turn a new leaf. He wants to get off this social media thing.
Then Smith talked about why he makes these kinds of videos.
Social media has definitely took over my brain and made me do things that is abnormal.
The attention is really, really addicting.
Julie Smith specializes in media literacy. While she doesn't approve of Smith's actions, she says for any social media user, seeing all the likes, comments, and views from videos can lead to people posting more shocking content.
Our behavior is shaped by rewards, and behavior online is rewarded with engagement and follows, and in his case, $10,000 a month.
At the end, the judge sentenced Smith to 1 year in prison, followed by 3 years supervised probation. She also said for those stores that were damaged, they can ask for restitution.
Do not return to any Walmart. Don't return to any Bosa Donuts.
The judge also imposed computer usage restrictions and also required Smith be screened for mental health. We're live in the studio. Chase Whiteley, 12 News.
All right, guys, there you got it. You have it. Can't even talk. Charles Smith, a.k.a. Wolfie Party Baby, 28-year-old dumbass, did some old crazy stuff, sentenced to 1 year in jail with some time served. I don't even know what's worse, what he did or what he said in court. It sounded no less convincing. As far as it's no different than his apology when he got busted and his fans called him out. Social media has taken over my brain, and I'm a better person now. You've been locked up 4 months. You ain't experienced nothing yet. You ain't experienced nothing. And this guy signed up for a year in jail. I'm more than sure he took that because he thought he was facing more time, or the first time they came with him with a deal, it was more than that. You know what I'm saying? So he took that because I'm gonna tell you something. They said he was making $100,000 a year. So if you're making over, you know what I'm saying, $9,000-$10,000 a month, close to, it got to be killing you not getting on social media and doing what you feel passionate about, no matter how cruel and unusual the pranks were. And speaking of pranks, man, it seems like nowadays a lot of younger people do stuff that's vile and they classify it as humor. I want you to see the shift of how people define things that are funny. Now, it's okay to have surprising pranks. But I mean, when it's just all out disrespectful stuff, that's where you draw the line. And these people are doing this to random strangers. He had a dead bird he picked up in the street. I showed that in the last video I did about him. Just threw it in a restaurant. Right in the food at the counter. People are looking like, what the hell? It's crazy. That's some crazy stuff. I mean, he would walk up to people and like knock stuff out their hand and run. Like food, right after they paid for it, in a restaurant. Spray water on people. Goofy stuff this guy was doing. Stuff that'll get a lot of people in the body bag rather than jail, so he's lucky he's where he's at. But either way, man, this is some stupid stuff. Did you hear him talking? You know what I mean? Sound like a little kid. But that goes with his mindset of what he thought was humorous and what he did to make money. I think if he spoke responsibly, he wouldn't have got that much time. And if he gave a sincere apology, it would have lessened the blow. Either way, they're saying 1 year in prison. He's not going to prison. He's going to do, because he already got time served. You know what I'm saying? 1 year, usually they keep you, it's usually like 364 days they keep you in, what's the name? So that extra 1 day, I don't think that he's going to go to prison, but it's going to count as a prison sentence and he'll be charged as such. He'll stay in jail where he's at. Either way, you know, in my opinion, I don't think that was enough time for what he did. And this is why. You did that stuff. If your fans hadn't called you out on your own live stream, you would have walked out of there. If everybody laughed and put a whole bunch of emojis up there, all you was worrying about the views and the adoration from you doing stupid shit. You would have walked out that Walmart. You know what I'm saying? A little kid could have came around there. Mom could have been like, hey, grab that last rotisserie chicken for somebody to get it. And they grab it. See, it's some stuff on it. Have a weird smell. Don't say nothing. Put it in the thing. And then get sick when they go home. That's why I got a problem with this. I'd have gave him a minimum of 3 years. But see, they backed this up. They loaded this up with a lot of back stuff. Like, you know, his situation, his conditions after he get out, like probation and all that type of stuff and monitoring and stuff. Hoping he'll mess up. But I'm going to tell you this, look. He's lucky they didn't. Now, they gave him limited restriction on the internet, but they can't really stop him from being on Instagram because that's how he make his money. He's lucky. He didn't get banned off of that. But either way, man, this is messed up to do this. And the thing that's funny is this is learned behavior. People follow other people's, you know, ideas a lot of times of how they run channels, whether they're taking a small part or a big part, and you're starting to see a lot of these younger people doing this prank stuff by watching others. When you on the internet, they call you an influencer. You know, some people, like if you're teaching something, I guess you're influencing people or whatever, but it seems like now everybody that got a page all of a sudden is an influencer. And a lot of times they ain't teaching nothing. And that's true. You know, it's a tremendous responsibility of what comes out your mouth. You know, and like some people, yeah, they like your videos, but you don't know how fanatical people are, and they live by every word you say. So you got to be careful a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? You hear me say it. My disclaimer is, look, don't listen to nothing I say. I'm just some dude in the room giving my opinion. You can agree with it or not agree with it, but I'm not telling nobody to go out there and do something crazy. You know what I'm saying? But these young kids and little kids gravitate to this type of stuff. And a lot of times they see an older male doing it. This is a 28-year-old man. They think, hey, if he does it and nothing happens, I can do it. Then they go do it to somebody in the street and get killed. And they learned it from people like this. It's crazy. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Yeah, social media got in your brain, but that amount of money you made, you could have changed yourself, and the social media never got in your common sense. So I don't want to hear shit. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.